Gennady Golovkin, also known as Triple G, is without a doubt one of the best and most feared middleweights of the last 20 years. Golovkin is definitely a fan favourite due to his pressurising style and knockout power, which makes him great for boxing purists and casual fans who want to watch fights. Triple G's boxing style is also more complex than people give him credit for, and in this boxing breakdown I'll be looking at his background and the elements of his style which has made him such an exciting fighter to watch over the years. So on that note, let's get right into it. First up, let's look at Golovkin's background. Gennady is a Kazakh professional boxer who pretty much dominated the middleweight division for 8 to 9 years, winning multiple world titles. In this period between 2008 and 2017, Triple G built up a 23 knockout streak, which is the highest KO percentage in middleweight history of 87%. It's no wonder so many avoided him. He also made a record of 20 title middleweight defences, which equalled Bernard Hopkins, which is truly remarkable when you think about it. In this long reign as middleweight champion, the Kazakh has defeated high profile contenders and world champions including Daniel Gale, Kell Brook, David Lemieux, Daniel Jacobs. However, his highest profile fight has come against Canelo Alvarez, who he drew with and then suffered his first defeat in 2018, which many claim he won both. Triple G also has an extensive amateur career, including an Olympic silver medal at Athens in 2004, which shows you how long he's been around for. With Golovkin now at the end of his career, I'm still expecting a few more big drama shows, as Triple G so famously says. What is Golovkin's boxing style? Golovkin very much has a fan-friendly style which he plays into his favour. He mixes an Eastern European style which he learned from his amateur days with a Mexican style which is quite unusual, but it has clearly worked for him over his many years of dominance. Triple G primarily uses this style so he can create panic and pressure on his opponent to control the pace and pin them against the ropes so he can apply his KO power for his hooks and looping overhand shots. The pressure fighter, Mexican style. If you watch Golovkin, you will notice he has created a style very similar to how the Mexican fighters try to apply constant pressure on their opponents. Golovkin, however, has applied a twist to this style by using a stiff and very powerful left jab, which generally hurts and pushes the opposition to move onto their back foot, helping him to cut off the ring, leaving them with nowhere to run but against the ropes. Triple G will generally aim to push for the top of the head and move his feet at the same time, which results in his opponent moving backwards. Since Triple G moved to America and started training with former trainer Abel Sanchez, they clearly worked to apply this style, which resembles one of the all-time great Mexican fighters, Julio Cesar Chavez, who is known for his resilient, intelligent pressure in the ring. So why do this? Well, constant pressure can result in your opponent to rush their work and make mistakes. This helps to create openings for Golovkin to cut off the ring and apply his perfect shots. However, it's important to identify how he cuts off the ring. The science of cutting off the ring. Now, this is a lot easier said than done, but Triple G has had that science of doing this over the years. He will aim to keep a mid-distance to block and exit his opponent from escaping by maintaining the distance, always keeping them in front of him. The aim of Triple G is to trap them in the corners. Often the opponent will try to get out, usually by sidestepping either way, and this is where Golovkin will quickly sidestep with them or use an L step so he can continue maintaining that pressure and distance on his competitor. Once Triple G's competitor is tired physically and mentally from this pressure from Golovkin, this is where the opportunities will present themselves. The jab and power shots. Triple G's power shots are some of the best in boxing, but how does he manage to apply this over and over again? Well, it starts with that stiff, powerful jab which he uses to push forward into his opponent so he can get closer to them or put them up against the ropes in the corners, just as I mentioned. Because of the power behind this, the opposition react easily to his feints or try to move out the way quickly. Triple G smartly changes the rhythm and location of where he throws the jab, which results in them panicking or rushing their work, therefore leaving openings for the Kazakh. Once Golovkin has them where he wants them, he will get to work with his perfectly timed power shot. Due to being up close now, he's able to make slight foot movement to the left to apply those sickening strong liver shots, which Mexican fighters are known to throw very often. He also uses his body weight by twisting and keeping his head off center line to provide unpredictable but devastating punches, which most don't see coming. The shift technique. Triple G also likes to apply a sneaky southpaw stance shift at certain points during his offense. Instead of leading with his usual stiff left jab, he'll put his body behind a right hand, which almost acts as a right cross. With all his body shifting to the southpaw stance after throwing the right, he then almost immediately follows up by throwing a sneaky left cross or hook to the body that leaves his opponent in a panic to move out the way or cover up. I recommend you check out my shift technique video if you want to find out more about this. Defense and footwork. Now, defense is probably something that not many associate with Triple G due to his attacking output. However, Golovkin's defense is very underrated and many of his opponents have struggled to hit him cleanly over the years. There are many things Golovkin does well, which includes the following: tucking in his chin, parrying with his opponent's jab, moving his head off center line when throwing his own punches, controlling the distance, getting behind his lead shoulder almost like a shoulder roll when his competitor attacks, and finally defensive footwork by simply taking half steps back and then pivoting to the center of the ring after his opponent attacks so he can then take control of the ring. As you can see, there's actually a lot of things Golovkin does very well, making him in actual fact one of the hardest fighters to hit cleanly. It also helps that Golovkin has one of the best chins in boxing, which must give him a lot of confidence when he expects to be countered. Final thoughts. Golovkin for me is without a doubt one of the greatest middleweights in boxing history, and is the reason why so many of us love to watch the sport with his action-packed offensive style. If you're an up-and-coming boxer and want to implement that pressurising style, you can definitely get a lot from learning studying him. Although a lot of Triple G's techniques seem fairly simple, it is in actual fact a very high risk style for any beginner to implement. It's vitally important to get the basics right before you try these out in sparring. Just remember, you'll always need to be fearless and very powerful if this style is going to work for you. With Golovkin now at the end of his career, he'll always be one of my favourite boxers to watch. I have to give the guy respect for all he's achieved in the sport to date. I hope we can still see him in a few more fights before he finally hangs up his gloves. And that wraps up this boxing style analysis. As always, thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Triple G. I'd love to know. Hit that like button, and if you're new here, please subscribe. As always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.